Hello there. Want to learn some ways of writing a good story? Then you need to check this video out. Hello everybody, it's me, your old pal Max West. As you know, I draw comics and I also do children's picture books. And today, instead of drawing, I'm going to talk about something a little bit different. What I'm going to talk about is a very important part of making comics or graphic novels, web comics, or even if you do fiction like novels or short stories or children's books, writing. Well, before I continue, the one thing I can't give you in this video is what exactly makes a good story. I'll tell you some of the components, but I can't answer that question. I mean, why? We all have different tastes here. Some of us like to laugh, some of us like to cry, some of us like to be scared, some of us like to see faraway, exotic places with strange names. I mean, we have different tastes, we have different backgrounds, we come from different cultures, we've had different life experiences. So, when it comes to writing stories, the best advice I can give you on that element is to write what you want, not what you think other people want. You'll have more fun doing it, and if all else fails, you'll have at least one loyal reader. Now that that's out of the way, I'll tell you some more about how I come up with a story. Now, any story, whether you're doing a web comic, or a 300-page novel, or a children's picture book, you need something. And that something starts with a C. What do you think it is? Cookies? Christmas? Cognac? Well, I'll give you the answer. You need this. Conflict. I mean, that's essentially at the heart of every story, whether you're doing a comedy or a tragedy or horror or science fiction. Basically, conflict, as I've been taught, consists of a must and a cannot. Like, let's say, take Lord of the Rings, for example. Our hero, Frodo Baggins, and the Fellowship of the Ring, they must destroy the One Ring. Of course, you know, if they could just destroy it by smashing it or burning it or cutting it up, you know, there's not much of a conflict there. They cannot do it because the only thing that's powerful enough to destroy the One Ring is the fires of Mount Doom, and that lays right in the heart of enemy territory controlled by the evil villain Sauron. Well, you see what I'm getting at? Now basically, when I write a story, like when I'm doing a comic or a picture book, I start with an idea. I've talked about generating ideas in the past. You can check out that video. I'll link to it below. Alright. Take the very first comic of Sunnyvale Stories I did. Now, in that story, Rusty moves with his family from a big city to a tiny remote town far away. He must learn to cope and to live in his new town. He cannot, though. It's just strange to him. I mean, everything he ever knew has been left behind. And apparently this little village doesn't have all the amenities he had back in the big city. Or like when I do my children's picture books, Hilda and Richie. Now, what I did was I thought of various ideas, you know. Hilda likes blowing bubble gum. What if Richie decided he wanted to give that a try? Or I'm going to show you something else in a moment here. What if Hilda and Richie had to make a giant sandwich? Now, once I get an idea, I do something that's very common also with novel writers as well as screenwriters writing for plays or for movies. I write something called a story treatment. See, what I do is on paper, or here in this very old notebook, you see that there. Let me see if I can zoom in a bit. Yeah, there we go. What I do is I write down by hand a story treatment. It's usually about 1 or 2 pages. I just write basically a summary, an outline of sorts for the story. You know, how does it begin? How does it progress? How does it end? You know, I just want to get the basic idea down. I don't, you know, put in any clever Easter eggs in the background or funny jokes in the story at this point. I just want to get the basic idea down. Like this is for Hilda and Richie's one of their future books. It's called Hilda and Richie's Sandwich. What's going to happen in this story is that Hilda's aunt visits. You see, she's having a birthday party for her daughter, Annette, who's also Hilda's cousin, and Hilda promised to provide food for the birthday party. Unfortunately, not only did Hilda forget, but also the party is just a few days away and a few hundred foxes are going to be showing up. So there we have the conflict. Hilda must provide food as she promised for her cousin's birthday party, but she cannot because it's so far off. I mean, it's so close, you know, just 2 days away, and she has to feed a few hundred foxes. If she had a week, you know, that would kill the conflict. Here she only has 2 days. So what do you serve 400 guests? Well, they decide they're going to make a big sandwich. Now, once I have the story treatment written, the next thing I do is I actually type up a script. I'll actually go to the computer, you know, and I'll type something up. Now, this is, you can work different ways. Some people will do a full prose script, just like they're writing a short story or a novel. You know, some might use a theatrical type script. This is a bit of both here. Basically, I have pages, you know, page 1 and 2. I have the text, what it's going to say, and guidelines for the images, like what's going to happen. In fact, one of the things I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm going to quickly sketch up I'm going to do a thumbnail today in this video, maybe 2 if I can. Yep, this is for Hilda and Richie's second book. It's going to be called Hilda and Richie's Wizard. This is going to be up on Kickstarter next year in January. And I'm also planning, as I said before, a collection, a first book collection for Poison Ivy Gulch. Yeah, there you see that. Poison Ivy Gulch saddles up. But that's a whole other video. I do thumbnails, as you know, for my comics as well, like Sunnyvale Stories, Dominic and Claire. Alright, now, the thumbnails, you know, remember what I said, keep them very loose. You know, I don't want to fall in love with my work, because what if I have to get rid of it? Alright, so just following the script here. Just going to sketch Richie here. Yeah. You see, these are called thumbnails for a reason. to start here with Richie. He's going to be looking outside. I have him holding his hands together in excitement. And you know, thumbnails often may go through radical changes. When I was working on Hilda and Richie, I went through at least 3 sets of thumbnails. Yeah, what happens here is Richie wants to go outside of Hilda's mansion. You know, there's lots of grass and trees and wilderness for him to go play in and explore. Richie jumped for joy. Behind Hilda's mansion. Yeah, I'm writing in the text here because, you know, I need to try to figure out how it's going to look on the page, since the picture book will combine both pictures and text. This mansion was lots of trees for Richie to go exploring. Yeah, and there we go. I have begun work on Hilda and Richie's Wizard, and those are my tips on how to write a story, or my way of writing a story. I may talk more about this in the future, as well as give you some more demonstrations of the work on Hilda and Richie's next picture book. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon to be notified of new videos, and check out some of the links I've got below. Until next time, everyone, it's me, your old pal Max West, saying goodbye.